Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Artsy Saturday. My name is Infinity, aka ArtsyChiitos, and I am the host of, well, Artsy Saturdays. I am back. Let me preface this episode by saying that I pre-record a lot of my content. Most of my content is pre-recorded, so it's not that I'm just wearing the same snuggie thing. I recorded this in the same day, so please forgive me. Also, I own a washing machine. So today I want to talk about the sketchbooks. Like I said at the end of last episode, sketchbooks are so important when it comes to going to art school, because well, your professors should be checking your sketchbooks. If they're not, they're kind of failing you. But anyway, the community college that I went to for my initial art school experience, they were like very adamant about the sketchbooks, and as a person who hadn't really been drawing prior to going through the art department there, I was hustling a lot because I wasn't drawing regularly, but I'm good at drawing. So I was able to kind of catch up my sketchbooks to where they should be so I could still get a decent grade. But now that I've graduated, I feel safe saying that. So, but don't do that. Practice drawing regularly. That's the only way you're going to get good at it. And the fun thing about drawing is once you draw it, your body just kind of memorizes it. Your motor skills, they just stay there. Unless you go like 20 years without drawing and go back to it, you might be a little rusty, but for the most part, your motor skills memorize all of the techniques you learn when you're learning how to draw, paint, etc. Keep up with that sketchbook. One thing that people worry about with sketchbooks is that they have to be perfect. Give me one moment to go find one of my sketchbooks, because I just want to talk about this. It's so unhealthy to think about sketchbooks that way. Alright, this is not just one sketchbook. It is all of them right now that I still have. And these are all the ones that I did pretty much in community college. So they're not in any particular order, but any one that I pick up, you can see that they're all full of pages that are taped in there. Some of these I just kind of stapled stuff in there. I've written things in here. This is all words and writing. These are sketches. I think I was at a restaurant one day eating sushi and I sketched this. So this one's from 2019, I think. It is. Things that I've gotten out of marker books I've found helpful, I kept taped in there. Really, when it comes to the sketchbook, what I'm trying to say here is that syllabus, anyway, really what happens when it comes to the sketchbook is people just want to see your art process, right? These are a bunch of flowers and leaves that I found outside that I wanted to press, and then I think I made a pocket or something. Anyway, I wrapped them in wax paper, stapled them inside of here, and I think these are just the plants that inspired me at one point. From my birthday, I took a note on it. Okay, so just this one, there's a ginkgo leaf in here, wow. And one of my friends bought me flowers for my birthday in 2019, and so I snipped some of those and pressed them in a book and kept them in here. I have a lot of figure studies in here. It's just a lot. Some of this stuff I can't really show because it's figurative drawing, and YouTube is weird when it comes to that kind of stuff. So anyway, perspective drawing, eyes, things like that. Anyway, basically, this is one of my favorite sketches. You can't really see it. One of my favorites. It's of me. I was looking outside of a window. It's a really pretty photo that I took of myself when I was going through a dark space, and I was just like, oh, that's really gorgeous. And anyway, when you're going through an existential crisis, everything looks beautiful. Anyway, my main point with a sketchbook is it's a mess book. People, they strictly attach the word sketch and book together, and it stresses them out, and they feel some subconscious or very conscious stress to keep that book in perfect condition. This is my first sketchbook, right? This is volume 1. It's very messy. There's tabs and papers and all kinds of studies in here that I still have. Smell that nostalgia. Anyway, all of my sketchbooks are a mess. When people come to review your portfolio, what the sketchbook is to them is a symbol of your practice. It is a symbol of passion towards the arts, because honestly, an art school is not going to recruit you if, you know, they don't see any kind of drive. So usually our drive comes across in the form of art, and clearly we don't all have the storage space for a bunch of canvases. I keep painting regardless, but sketchbooks are a more portable way to express your artistic ideas. I do all kinds of planning for painting and sculptures. I think the sketch for my arm statue where I have like my heart made out of clay in my hand. Anyway, it's a really weird piece. Again, dark time. But all of that is in these sketchbooks. Any painting I've done, for the most part, is in these sketchbooks. And so when I did do a portfolio day event, I had this whole stack. I had like 6 sketchbooks stacked up for them to look through or skim through. Really, honestly, they just skim through it because they're busy. They're trying to get to a bunch of people. So, but the fact is that I had them and that they were just kind of impressed by that. So that was really good. Don't get stressed out about how neat they are. Some people, I have friends who have really aesthetic looking sketchbooks. I'm not gonna lie, I am jealous, but that's not the main thing that they're looking for. People who are reviewing your sketchbooks, that's not the main thing they're looking for. They just want to see your exploration and your processes and your thinking, what inspires you, things like that. So it's really like a visual diary. And you know, I used to keep an actually written diary. I don't anymore. But the sketchbooks kind of traded places with that. And so clearly I think a lot about my art, even if I'm not producing art. I haven't picked up a paintbrush, which is my main mode of artistic creation. Big words. I haven't picked up a paintbrush since, I think, end of June of 2020 when I was submitting my portfolio for scholarships. I hope nobody from my school ever sees this. But anyway, you know, sometimes you just get in a funk. And like I said in the last video, before I got into community college art school, or started taking my art classes in community college for art, I hadn't drawn 3.5 years prior to that point. So it was like I had nothing to show, really, or nothing that I was willing to show, because, like, you know, my art from before was just kind of cringe, and no, you know, I don't show anybody that stuff. But don't get stressed out by your sketchbook. Your sketchbook is meant to be your friend, not your frenemy, and not your enemy, okay? Like, some people legitimately suck at keeping a sketchbook. Honestly, if my professors hadn't harangued us so much about keeping a sketchbook, I probably still wouldn't keep a sketchbook that much. I might have 1 or 2. And now I have like 6, and I make a habit, which I recommend. This little piece of artist advice. Number them. So, like, this one right here is my first one. And I made it a habit to paint my sketchbooks. No one can ever say that I stole their sketchbook, because all of mine have the infinity symbol on there somewhere. I've noticed. Oh my god. I have a problem. All of them have the infinity symbol on there. So I will say this first of all. My name is spelled like the car, not the number. But since so many people spell my name like the number, I decided to start putting the symbol on my sketchbook. So this is volume 1 of my sketches. I will not be flipping through that. There's a lot of figure drawing in here. Volume 2, I really don't remember what all is in here, but clearly I have a lot of sticky notes. Post-it notes are my favorite thing in the world. I'm thinking that this one is number 3, but I could be wrong. It has the Vitruvian Man on it. I got this from the St. Louis Art Museum when I went one day. Funny thing, it was like spring break of 2019, and yeah, was it? Yeah, I think it was spring break of 2019. No, it was spring break of 2018. There we go. And I went to the museum, and I might, like, it was for a school assignment, but my parents had to think about me going to the museum. But I went, and then I found the gift shop, and I bought these, like, Tennessee, what's that whiskey? Jack Daniel pecans, and I bought this. And one of my friends had a sketchbook just like this, but anyway, and I tripped him out one day, and I'm like, look at this. Anyway, art students are a bunch of kids. Y'all know this, I know this, but for people who don't know this, art students are just a bunch of kids, come on. But yeah, so, you know, if you have a picture of my goofball friends in the front of this, they just made some kind of meme thing, and they handed them out. But I think this is volume, I want to say this is no, this is number 5. I'm also kind of a nerd, so you can't really see that, but I think you saw that on the other 2 sketchbooks. I like marking my books with Roman numerals because I'm classy. I know for a fact that this is my most current one. I went on a slump, like I said, for a while, and I started sketching again at some point, but I haven't sketched recently. So this is the latest one. Where is number? I really gotta get my life together. I feel like this one is, I know, summer of 2018, because this symbol, which probably can't really, oh, there it is. This symbol, if you guys recognize it from my main channel, it's the logo for my, for Infinity Crafting Cup. So, how did I come up with it? I know I'm going on a whole digression here, but anyway, it's related to art, I promise. I took Graphic Design 1 in summer of 2018, and as I was sitting there to this very interesting, don't get me wrong, very interesting individual I took my graphic design class with. He was lecturing, and as he was lecturing, you know, God was talking to me. I'm like, he's like, hey, yeah, sketch. And I'm like, okay. So I was sketching, but I think I was sketching in this one. One of my friends bought me this, and I just started using this huge, like, 11 by 14 thing. I hated carrying this around because it's heavy. I used this the same, like, summer / fall. But anyway, I started sketching in that one for logos because the guy was lecturing about logos. And for some reason, this picture came to me. This one doesn't have the infinity symbol in it, I don't think. It might. I don't know. It might. But that was my original logo, and it's still the logo that I use today, and I have just reimagined over the last couple of years. I think I went really hard on the sketchbook. He looks a little beaten up. I don't really know what all I did in this one. Why does this look like... This is really amazing. This is also 2019. I kept this for a while. So I was reaching the end of this book. Here's the sketch. Okay, just to show you guys a reference. Here's the sketch. I don't know if you guys can see this that well if I lean in. This is the sketch for this. Okay, so like I said, you keep all of your ideas in your sketchbooks, and like right now I'm going on a nostalgia trip because I'm like, oh my god, I found my painting in my sketchbook. What? My professor, I took a Design 2 course in my last semester at community college, and this was our final project. Now, this final project changed a lot between this sketch. Oh, maybe not a lot. Wow. Anyway, it changed considerably between this sketch and the actual painting of it. We were supposed to use like black, white, and gray in it, and I was the only one in the class doing acrylic pours, and I went outside, I poured the background on this bad boy. Then I had a heck of a time taping the shapes because, well, I used acrylic oil in the pour, so, you know, tape and silicone oil. But anyway, I painted a darn near perfect circle, and the funny thing about art, a lot of times your good professors will tell you fake it till you make it. So like this circle back here was nearly perfect except for like one little blip up here somewhere. And I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm covering it with a triangle, and that's what I did. And so, you know, because initially this was going to be a whole triangle. Anyway, I could explain that painting forever. It was based off of, I think, Bryce Hudson. It's an artist. He's an artist, Bryce Hudson. And he did paintings similar to that, but like I said, the acrylic pour thing in the background was something uniquely mine and something interesting. I'll probably be teaching about the principles of art on this channel as I get into like tutorials and videos and things like that. But one of the fun things with composition that my professor, one of my favorite people, man, he was like, composition is so important. You want to try to keep the design away from the edge as much as possible. People who like design within like an inch of the edge, they just like kind of drive people crazy. And what was funny about him, he was an architect, okay? So like he went to school for architecture, and then he's like, his story is that he decided to do art in his master's degree, for his master's degree. So this guy's very technical is what I'm trying to say. So what I did just to get on his nerves is I painted this long purple line, and there's like less than ½ an inch between the end of this line and the edge of this canvas. And somehow I made it work, and somehow I got an A on it. But he was very impressed by this piece, and that just still brings me joy to this day. But yeah, so anyway, you see the excitement and the connection that the sketchbook can bring to a piece of art. Because I know I just went on a whole digression, like I said. But being able to make connections from sketchbook to an actual piece of art, which was totally unintentional because I forgot I drew this. But it can be a really good thing. And then, like I said, I had this on the wall for my portfolio event. So if somebody saw this in my book, they would have been like, huh, this is really cool. So she sketches her paintings first. And what was interesting, I had already graduated when I did my portfolio event. I came back because I didn't get accepted into my first choice of school that year. And I was a little disappointed, but I didn't want to stop going to school because I didn't want to get into a slump where I'm just like, haha, I'm free. Because that's a thing that happens. So a lot of times when you graduate and you take a break, you don't want to go back. And so right now I'm kind of facing that a little bit because I have been taking online classes since the lockdown started. I hadn't been on campus until yesterday, and I first did my tour in 2019 in the fall. So I haven't been on that campus in over a year, and I was just like, oh my god, this is campus, oh no. But anyway, it's going to be cool once I get around my people again. But yeah, so you want to keep up with your sketchbook, because as you can see, it could just open up a whole nother world to your creation. And so I'm not saying like every single thing that I've sketched out here, every single painting idea that I've sketched in here is in there, but I can do things like color studies, which look really good from far away. I'm not angry with this from far away, but if you get up on it, it's like, ugh. Which is, you know, the beauty of sketchbooks. But yeah, I did a lot of sketchy, a lot of writing. I kept many notes. From classes. I kept like my professors would do printouts of the assignments. So like they'd assign something, but they have this whole sheet of instructions and things and all that. And so I would keep those. I think 14. I'm sorry, not 14. Why did I say 14? That number says 15. But I think when I did my portfolio event, some of the schools that didn't impress me, I wrote some interesting little notes about. But yeah, so anyway, collections of ideas and thoughts and processes, anything that has inspired you, you know, it can just be how you feel about the world at the moment. And it's all important, okay? It's all important. I think, well, did I number this one? I'm trying to understand. Did I number this one? I don't think I did, but I did press another leaf into the cover of it. And a thing about me and my art, I'm very inspired by nature for the most part. And I go a lot between nature and abstraction when it comes to my artwork, and then portraiture. October 10th. Cool. And so, you know, there was a point there. Oh, so a lot of my books have a lot of apparently pressed flowers in them, which is okay. It's lovely. I'm going to say that's number 3 because that would make the most sense. And then this one, I know I had this. This one is special. Like I said, my friend bought this for me over the summer of 2018, and I kept it. And I didn't really start using it. Oh, I did. I started using it in that graphic design class that I really enjoyed. A lot of the things that I use now for designing my stuff with Infinity Crafting Co. I use here. I am carefully flicking through here because I have a lot of figure drawings, but these are like hands and feet and stuff like that. I studied my own hand at one point, and the funny thing about the guy that was teaching this figure drawing class, when he had us to study like our hands and feet and draw them, I drew my hands like this, and he's like, wow, you're trying to give me the bird. I'm like, no, I actually wasn't, but I do, like, my fingers are long and kind of bony, so it's fun to draw them, and like specifically when I do that hand gesture, it's just very pretty. I don't run around flipping people the bird, but anyway. Here is something that I drew of myself at one point. You know, I have a lot of artwork. This one was trippy because I kind of had a dream about it, but it's trippy. And I can't get this sticky note. Oh, wait. I can. So, this guy right here, I don't know why I put a sticky note on it. This is all marker. This is where my marker binge began. Okay, this one was really weird. And I had a dream about this one time, and I don't know why I had a dream about it, but it was like crying tears into a martini glass, and I just decided to sketch it. this design teacher was weird. I was feeling weird, and so anyway, I just sketched it out. Yeah, so it looks really creepy, basically. And that's about as outlandish as it gets. One time I was laying on the floor. I think this is when I started my channel, Infinity Crafting Co. I was like laying on the floor, and I took this selfie. I was like, huh, look at my chubby arm. I can draw myself like that. Okay. But anyway, so that's number 4. Then the Vitruvian Man is number 5. And then this is my current one, and I have all kinds of tabs in here. This one is full of figure drawings. I did something called Figuary, which is something that the Crocus, I want to say this right, Crocus Cafe does in February. They just have a series of nude or clothed or partially clothed figures that you draw. That's going to be a fun thing when you go to art school. If you have yet to take art classes, you're going to see naked people a lot, so be prepared. But anyway, I did Figuary one year, and I think I did everything except for like the last 2 days. I was also kind of battling some depressing thoughts, so it kind of helped me distract from that. My day 29 and 28 pages are empty. Again, a lot of figures. I think where my tabs are, I did a lot of figurative things where I wanted to like keep up with and paint. Some of them I painted and are exclusively in my portfolio because they're nudes, but like not of me, but like they're just naked pictures. But anyway, okay, so it's so awkward to explain post-secondary art school, okay, because it's like totally different from what you see in like maybe a public school. So anyway, and it goes from like figure drawings to sketches of my coffee mug, which is yellow. Something funny, a little funny thing about me, I've been drinking coffee since I was about 3 and a half or 4. My great-grandmother and I would get up early in the morning. She'd dilute my coffee, which I found out later. I'm like, oh really, she diluted it? Wow, not by much, but okay. And we'd sit up really early in the morning, like 4 in the morning, and chit-chat and talk, and then I'd go play, you know? And so that was a really nostalgic memory. She's been passed for maybe like 10, 11, what was I, 11? I'm 23, so 12 years now. And so anyway, funny thing, my coffee cup is yellow. It's kind of a memorial type, well not memorial, but memoriam type deal. So anyway, I remember her by drinking coffee every day, and I'm addicted to caffeine. I do a lot of hand studies. I don't know why I'm just like flipping through my sketchbook now, but I just want to show you guys how varied they are. Like these are my hands, and there we go. That looks better. These are my hands. As you can see, they're very bony, very dainty, but anyway. And when my nails are grown out, I just sawed them off, figuratively speaking. No pun intended. They look like this. And so I find that when you're an artist, a lot of your best modeling is going to be of yourself, you know? So like you're the closest figure you have to observe. So I say, why not observe yourself? More leaves, because I found some really pretty distinctive leaves last year, 2020. So yeah, and I just, you know, I pressed them, preserved them, and I leave them taped. Oh, like that one. I found that one when I was depressed one time in 2019? And I pressed it, and then I ran out of room, and I'm like, you know what? It's getting pinned to the wall. And so serves as a background. This one from last fall when I went to vote. Found it on my way. It still preserves some of the colors. So, you know, basically, like I said, I whatever inspires me. And then after I kept finding leaves to tape into these spots as filler, I was like, I'm feeling kind of bad. Oh my god, how many leaves do I have? This is like the 4th leaf. Anyway, I kept finding leaves, and I was like, you know what, I need to draw something. So I started drawing, apparently, and now I found another leaf. Jesus, I'm not going to show you guys my leaf collection. Me and nature. I love nature. But yeah, so anyway, different painting ideas. This one's kind of violent, so anyway, I'm going to quit flipping through that. What is the moral of the story? Keep a sketchbook, keep many sketchbooks, preserve them. They serve as memory books. You can go through them and just, you know, man, really feel that nostalgia. Don't feel ashamed of your sketchbooks. Mine are a hot mess, and I still got in art school, so if I can do it, you can do it too. I'm going to let that be it, I guess, for today. My camera battery is about to die. I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. Yeah, it's a vlog. Huh. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to share my content across social media. I can't English now. But anyway, maybe I should art about it. Don't forget to share my content across social media. It's the #1 way you can help any content creator for free, is just sharing their content, getting it out there. I'm gonna start doing art soon. I promise. The semester is almost... Wait, I think when this one posts, the semester is over, and I'm probably just taking a week or so off to just clear my brain, and then I'm gonna get back into artwork. I'm looking forward to posting my works of art here on this channel. It is long overdue, so if you're anticipating that, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell so you never miss out on my uploads. I plan on uploading on Saturdays, like I said in that very first upload. Not gonna stress myself out with the upload schedule for now, but I will leisurely post my art process videos. I think I have a couple of things lined up. And if you want to support this channel, I will leave the links to my blog, which talks about my my technology that I use behind my channel. I'll leave a link to my merch shop where you can find art and craft based or themed merch for my channel. You can support me through that. And I'll also leave the link to my coffee blog where you can leave me tips because I'm an artist. And yeah. Alright guys, until next video, happy arting, happy painting. I usually say happy making, so happy making.